I own around 270 LEGO Marvel minifigures, representing characters from comics, films, TV, and more. But what if I had to downsize my LEGO Marvel collection to just 30 minifigures? What ones would I keep? And what would I value? Details? My love for the character? The rarity and the value of the minifigure? I'm going to take all of that into account as I tear my collection down to just 30 Marvel minifigures. I think a good place to start would be with my love for the MCU, and selecting some essential characters from that franchise. It only makes sense to pick Iron Man first, so let's take a look at my options. I've got a few different Iron Man figs here, mostly MCU, but also some from comics and video games. My most valuable one is the battle damaged Mark 6 from the Avengers Tower, but I don't want my only Tony Stark to be forever damaged, so I'm going to select the 2023 Mark 7 from the Avengers. It's a clean minifig that represents the core elements of Iron Man. Next, I'll select my ideal Captain America. Avengers 1 certainly wasn't his best look. Age of Ultron looks pretty good, but I'm going to go with my favorite Steve Rogers fig, the 2021 Endgame suit. This one has a great torso with a scale design, a chin strap printed on his face, and a nice helmet piece, which I prefer to the old printed helmet styles. Endgame cap it is. I'll round out the big three of the MCU with a Thor fig. I've got a few unique Thors from throughout the MCU. Short hair, Fat Thor, Love and Thunder Blue, but I'm going to go with a more common Thor look. The 2022 Thor, used for Thor 1 and Avengers sets. It's got the long blonde hair, a spongy cape, which I prefer to rubber, and Mjolnir. All the iconic Thor elements are here. Now let's pick a Hulk big fig. I don't own any of the Hulk minifigs, so I'll slightly bend the rules here and take a big fig. Out of the three I own, I'll go with the angriest one to capture Hulk's iconic rage, the 2024 Age of Ultron Hulk. Let's quickly complete the OG 6 Avengers with my favorite Hawkeye from the 2021 CMF, and my most detailed Black Widow, the 2020 video game one, with awesome arm and leg printing. Next, I'll select a few more Avengers favorites. Wanda Maximoff has had a few good minifigures over the years, but one stands far above the rest, the 2021 CMF Scarlet Witch. This captures the costume wonderfully, and is also recognizable from her comics appearance with the red crown. And you can't have Wanda without Vision. The Synthezoid has had a few different minifigures from the last decade, and I have two of them, Infinity War and the one from the Avengers Tower. And although the recent one is quite unique and more valuable, I do like the color scheme of the older one better, and I find it to be more film accurate. So I'll go with the 2018 Vision. Next, I'll take another MCU duo, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. For Sam, I made a bit of a dilemma, stuck between his iconic time as Falcon and his recent rise to Captain America. On the minifigure side of things, his cat figs are far more impressive, so I'm going to go with the 2021 CMF version. And for Bucky, I'll go with the 2014 Polybag Winter Soldier, with a dual head to represent both the comics and the film. Next, I'll have to keep a Black Panther figure for sure. With a few options, I'll take the most visually interesting one, the 2021 Purple Highlights T'Challa. Another staple character I can't go without, Dr. Stephen Strange. I own two of his LEGO looks, 2018's Infinity Saga look and the 2022 Multiverse of Madness one. I like the old one a lot more, and it stays true to more of his MCU appearances. Plus, I prefer cloth capes. I'll go with the 2018 Strange. Next is a character you all know I couldn't miss, the face of Marvel himself, Spider-Man. He's had a ton of different minifigures, including over a dozen multiversal variants. But I'm going to focus on the classic, tried-and-true comic Spider-Man, as seen in the Daily Bugle. It's unmistakably Peter Parker. And with a rogues gallery as rich as Spidey's, I'll need to take at least one villain as well. It was definitely a toss-up between Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and Venom. But looking at the figures together, I had to go with the Daily Bugle's Green Goblin. He's too iconic of a character, and too detailed of a minifigure to go without. And now that I think of it, the Avengers should need some villains as well. Looking at my Lokis, I'll take the one from 2023, and I'll take Thanos from 2021 with the loaded Infinity Gauntlet. I'm just over halfway through my list now, and we have a solid foundation of MCU favorites. It's time to branch out a bit and touch other corners of the wide Marvel universe. Starting with X-Men, I have about 11 characters to choose from, but I'll have to leave some behind. I'll go with the obvious picks of 2023's CMF Wolverine, the definitive best Logan we've seen thus far. And from the same CMF, I'll take Beast and Storm. Beast being the only version we've seen so far, and this Storm being my favorite of the two I own. I'll look to the 2024 X-Mansion set for three more mutants: Gambit, Cyclops, and Magneto. I picked these based on personal preference, but I'm certainly on the fence about looking to Jean and Rogue as runner-ups. The minifigs themselves just weren't up to par though. Next, I'll make a likely controversial choice, taking only half of the Fantastic Four with me. I'll be taking Reed and Ben, but leaving Sue and Johnny behind, purely based off the uniqueness of the figs. If Johnny was flamed on and Sue was semi-translucent, I'd happily include the whole family, but the bland figures failed to capture their iconic powers. For that reason, I'll just be including this Fantastic 2. Another team that I'll have to make cuts from is the Guardians of the Galaxy. As much as I love all the members, especially those with great minifigures like Drax, I'll have to pick only 2. First, I'll go with the main man, Star-Lord. I'll go with the 2021 Benatar version, which didn't come with the mask, but the torso looks great, and we've got dual molded legs and a spot-on Pratt likeness. And of course, I'll need to take my personal favorite Guardian, Rocket. I'll select the 2021 Endgame version. He's even got goggles on his head. And here I am with just 4 slots left. I'll need some standout characters, but first let's take a look at some honorable mentions I was sorry to leave behind, but ultimately had to cut. Drax, Ant-Man, Miles, Gwen, Spider-Man 2099, Nick Fury, Ghost Rider, Groot, and Ultron. Alright, these last 4 characters have only received 1 minifig each, so that part of the process was made very simple for me. Blade's coming with me. He's very unique as a darker character in LEGO form. The same can be said for the Punisher. Who thought we'd ever get this anti-hero in minifig form? And of course Daredevil's coming as well. Matt Murdock had to be chosen. Alright, and my 30th and final pick could have went to a lot of different heroes and villains, but I ultimately went with a badass character with a beautiful minifigure. Mark Spector Moon Knight. Just look at the figure. If I'm going to a deserted island with nothing but 30 minifigures, I'd be crazy to leave this one at home. Alright, and there we go. My bare bones Marvel minifigure collection. Of course, I don't own every minifigure to begin with. That's why you don't see characters here like Deadpool or Doctor Doom. Let me know what you thought of my picks, and thanks for watching.